All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ASAP Real Talk on All Sports, All Plays Network, where our goal is to provide you a great debate-style sports coverage. We are brought to you by... Today's show is brought to you by Suzanne Paparazzi Jewelry. All products are lead and nickel. All products are $5. Special offer for ASAP viewers. Free matching earrings when you buy a necklace. Order now at paparazziaccessories.com. Promo code 160920. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you like vibing with us, don't forget to like, share, comment, and everything else in between, because we like to hear from you and we like to see our stuff shared. My name is JJ McLovin. I'm your host. I'm joined by Freddie and my boy Chris at the bottom with his shaggy new haircut. Say what's up to the people.
What's up? Let's go, man. This is going to be an exciting show.
It definitely is going to be an exciting show, man. Can't wait. Everybody stay tuned and let's get it.
All right, gentlemen. We're going to kick this bad boy off. First topic up for debate. What can we expect out of Stan Van Gundy in New Orleans? And did they make the right choice or the wrong choice? Freddie, you go. Let's go.
Man, what you can get out of Stan Van Gundy, he's a good coach, but he's an old school coach, and he can be stuck in his ways at times. I think they could have got a different coach other than Stan Van Gundy. Maybe I would like to see a younger coach to be with this team, to go with a Zion Williamson, to go with a Brandon Ingram, maybe a Drew Holiday if they don't trade him, a Josh Hart, Alonzo Ball, somebody, maybe a coach that knows how to relate to the younger generation a little bit better than Stan Van Gundy. He's an old school type coach. Maybe he can be a little bit too hard on these young guys. I don't know. Maybe he's not adjusted to the new style of basketball. We don't know. But maybe, I don't know, maybe once Ty Lue came off the board, it probably changed a lot of things for that organization, honestly.
All right, Chris, what you got, baby?
Freddie, I'm just going to be honest. What you said was crap. They need a head coach that's going to push them. They don't need a head coach that's going to be soft on them. They're young. They need a head coach that's going to hold them accountable, that expects and makes sure that they bring the best out of them every single night. Yes, Stan Van Gundy is a quote-unquote old coach. That doesn't mean anything. He is a great coach. He knows the game of basketball better than a lot of these head coaches in basketball right now. You can tell when he's on TNT, when he's talking about the game, how he's breaking it down, how he's seeing things. He has a mind for basketball. Now, yes, he's stuck in his ways. He's a quarterback. He's a head coach that that has a system, demands a system. He's not a head coach that can really, he doesn't really like people doing their own thing. He wants people to play his system and run his system. Now, how that, relate to this young Pelicans team, I think he'll be a good head coach for the next 1 to 2, 3 years. Now, if he can change that, because you have a Zion, you have Alonzo, Brandon Ingram, or Drew Holiday, guys that can do, different things with the basketball outside of the system, non-pattern players that can do their own thing. So if he realizes that and say, okay, I got some guys that can really, do things with the basketball and takes a step back, then he honestly can be the head coach for the future. He coached J.J. Redick when he was in Orlando. J.J. Redick's going to have a big role like he's been having the past couple of years. His career took off. but he's going to be a great coach for this team in the short term. If the only thing that I worry is, will he allow these players to do their own thing sometimes? If he can do that, but he still has a great system, great defensive system, I think he's going to be a hell of a coach.
Yeah, I really kind of agree with some of what Adam is saying for sure. Stan Van Gundy, in my opinion, is just a little antiquated. I don't think he speaks the players' language. I don't think he has a pulse on the players as much. And you even said it yourself. I don't know if he's going to let them do what their talents are meant for them to do. You know, is he going to force them to is he going to try to put that round peg in a square hole? You know, he's done that for a while. That man will get you to the playoffs, no doubt about it. You give him some talent, he'll get you to the playoffs. I don't think, based on past performances and the old, like you said, kind of like that old regimented stuff, I don't know if he's going to get you to the promised land. Having said that, Popovich is an older guy, but Popovich, for some reason, that man can just get you in there.
He's a hell of a coach.
Pop can finesse you into his style. I don't know if Stan Van Gundy can finesse them into what he's trying to get out of them. I don't know. We'll see. Not personally.
I got one thing to say though. Sorry.
Yeah, hold on a minute. Hey, raise that little hand like I told you to do. Like in first
listen.
grade, right here, baby.
You don't listen.
Right
You don't
here.
pay attention.
Okay. Hold on a minute now. So what I'm saying is, I don't think he was the best coach, but he's not the worst coach either. So we'll see what he produces. Now, what you got, young man?
Now, the thing with the best coach, honestly, I'll say, okay, the only coach I think available right now that they could get is Jason Kidd. After that, what coach, honestly?
Mark Jackson, Sam Cassell.
We had this conversation about Mark Jackson. I keep bringing it up, and I'm telling you, he's really not going to get a job. So when I think of coaches, I don't even say it no more because I understand what it is. Sam Cassell, I honestly think he's going to Houston. I think that deal is going to work itself out. And then other than his brother – say it again.
Why is there nobody gone for Kenny Smith? Why are people?
He's not becoming no head coach. He
doesn't want to do it.
No way. He would have been.
I honestly think the Jet would be good.
I do too, but there's no way he's going to come out. I don't see him coming a head coach. I think he's going to stay where he's at. I think he loves his job.
I think he does like that booth a little bit, huh?
Yeah, I do. But I would like to see him on a coaching staff because he has the good mindset. But And if Sam Cassell gets hired, him go be an assistant, I'd love to see that. But the point being is there wasn't a lot of very good head coaches available. I think the best one available was Jason Kidd. After that, I really think Sam Cassell was going to Houston. And then you just have the two Van Gundy brothers. Which one do you want? They went with the other. They went with Stan. So it was. I mean, they got a good coach. It's just, has he changed his ways and being stubborn? Because he will coach this team well, and they will have a chance to get into the playoffs. We just don't know what the future is going to allow.
All right. We'll go ahead and move on then. How far out?
I love it.
And these questions are very much out of order. There's not like one specific sport. How far out do you think the Browns are from being in title contention?
Who's that for? Is it me or Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna go in reverse order. Let's go around. Chris, I'm gonna give that one to you.
They're quarterback. plain and simple.
You don't think Baker can get him there?
Heck no. His first year he had a decent year. Second year he showed you. Well, I think he threw more interceptions and touchdowns, threw 20 plus interceptions. This year he's showing you. Listen, they're a run first team. We understand that, but with all these weapons, there's no way that you're only scoring 7 points. That should never happen. There's no way you're throwing all these interceptions. You have Odell, Jarvis, tight ends, Kareem Hunt. This team is far too talented for them to not be putting up points. The defensive side, they have a lot of good young guys. Their defensive backs are injured, but they're good on defense. I think that's not the problem. The problem is that offense. The problem is Baker Mayfield. He is the problem. I promise you, you get a different quarterback in that system, and they're going to win some games. That quarterback is going to put them in a position to win. Baker Mayfield, to me, was a terrible choice with the first pick, and the Cleveland Browns just never have any luck with the quarterback. And I'm not surprised that Baker Mayfield's career is ending up like this. I really honestly believe, yes, Trey Baker. I do think if you get a new quarterback in that system, they will be better because they're a run-first team, but with all those weapons, is like I said, there's no way you're not putting up points. The problem is Baker.
I wonder if they should try to figure out some kind of way to trade up to the number 1 spot to grab Trevor Lawrence and put Baker Mayfield along with the draft pick in there as compensation.
Can I speak on that real quick? Just real quick. I love that you said that because say if the Jets get that pick, you could possibly give up an Odell, Because give Sam Darnold, another receiver. I'm gonna get on that on a different story, later on. But give him a receiver, maybe give them a young running back because they have a whole bunch of running backs. And if I'm the Jets, I'd take that. You just unlocked my. That was a good ass point right there because I would love that.
I would stay, but what? I really think, and Freddie, I'm coming to you, babe. I really think that the Jets, they just they're so in rebuild mode, man. Like that whole damn team is in rebuild mode. Yeah. Much like the Minnesota Vikings are in rebuild mode, and that's why I was kind of funny. The Jets, if they give up that one pick, they're probably shopping the one pick for multiple picks.
You would think so, but that organization is
offensive line for Darnold. But go ahead, Freddie. What you got, man?
It's crazy that you guys said that because I was just about to get into that. You really don't have to, trade. I don't think the Jets are going. Well, we're going to talk about the Jets in a minute, but I don't really want to get into that discussion just yet. Mm-hmm. But let me just attack this problem here, and I'll just unload on that part. When you look at the Browns, like Chris said. You have wide receivers, you have the tight ends, you have a decent defense, you have the running backs, you have the star receivers, Odell and Landry. You say, why can't this team not move? Well, what does every NFL team need? They need a leader. They need a guy to orchestrate the offense. They need a guy who can keep things going. You have a dude by the name of Odell Beckham Jr., and I feel sorry for Odell, man. And this coming from a Giants fan, when he was on the Giants, Eli was on the way down. He wasn't on the way up. Everybody knows. So the dude have not really played with an elite quarterback. I said the same thing with the Giants. This dude should have been our number one target that we throw the ball to. At the beginning of the game, we should go to Odell. Because when you get this dude the ball, it seems like every time he have a big game, they win. But it seems the same thing in Cleveland. They tend to forget to not go to Odell. It's just that simple. And it seemed like when Baker Mayfield's first target's not ready, he doesn't know what to do. He's not ready. I'm not saying that he's not going to be a good quarterback, but he's not ready right now. He needs to be developed. He needs to be in the game more. They need to tune that ego down because he has too much of an ego to thinking that he's all that, and he's not. So what I would do is I would try to trade a Baker Mayfield. And if the Jets do get Trevor Lawrence, I would try to get a Sam Darnold. I don't think you would have that problem if he was over there with Cleveland. There's a lot of things that they can do, but they definitely need to do something.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I really just think I kind of agree with what he's saying, what Chris is saying, and the fact that I think it is probably the quarterbacks. Their defense, they probably a little more on the defense, but primarily, I think Baker's Baker's not a bad quarterback, but I just don't think he's the right quarterback.
He's not it. I think him and the organization just need to split ways. They both need a restart.
But you know what? Baker Mayfield was kind of like who was the guy that won all those Heismans out of Florida, man?
Tebow.
There you go.
No, but he has a better arm than Tebow.
Like great at the college quarterback position, but maybe not so good at the NFL level.
I want to take it to the extent because I feel like he has a better arm than Tebow. So the wide receivers want the ball. That's what wide receivers want. Listen, wide receivers, they want the ball. And now the good wide receiver, like your Julios, the D-Hop, they always want the ball. But you want to know the difference? They're getting it. The quarterback can deliver the ball. When your quarterback isn't delivering the ball, then it's going to seem much worse than it is. Every single wide receiver wants the ball. But if their quarterback can't deliver, then the problem's going to get blown up. Every receiver has that problem, trust me. But every other receiver really is getting the ball.
What you got, Freddie?
And just to add on to what Chris said, I believe Odell Beckham Jr. would be okay getting 3 to 4 targets if they was winning.
Man, I don't know if I like this right now, man. Y'all two agreeing too much, man. I don't know if I like this show right now, man. All
right, so let me disagree with him. Can I disagree with him? Because I was about to disagree with him. Because I don't think he would be okay getting 3 to 4 targets. No, why? Because he is a talent. I want to say he's the most talented receiver in the game. But when he has a good quarterback, when he has a good game, you know what he brings. He's a guy that can create separation. He can guy that can catch a lot of things. He's deceptively fast. So I don't think 4 targets he'll ever be okay with because he is one of the best receivers in this game. He just doesn't have a chance to show it. With great receiver that's making all these great catches, these great highlights, is going to be okay with 4 targets. Are you kidding me? You make no sense. You saw him in New York. You said when they were winning, what was happening? He was getting the ball. He wants the ball.
I understand that, but I'm just saying,
because he feels like he's that deciding factor whether they win or lose.
Chris,
I want to be mad at him for that. You're saying, okay, yeah, I'll be okay with 4 targets. No, he will not, because he's better than 4 targets. Whether they win or lose, he is better than 4 targets. He gets open more just to have 4 targets. He should be getting 8 to 10 targets a game. That's
so
how good he is.
What happened to wanting to win? If it was to mean to win for me to get less targets and we're winning, why would he complain that they're winning? Isn't
because Freddie, he's open every single time. So yes, he's going to complain even if they win. It's not like he's getting bagged up. He's open. He's not getting the ball. Okay, I'm open. I'm doing my job. We still winning. Cool. But listen, I need the ball more. I'm wide open. You throwing the ball. What happened?
What if we're gonna lose that way then, though?
What if they're going to lose?
What if we go out of our game?
They never showed. Listen, they're not going out the game plan because he doesn't complete passes. So it's not like they're going out the game plan to give him the ball. And when you're going against the Steelers, who have one of the best run defenses in the game, then you have to add some more passing plays. Listen, this team is far too talented to be upset about wanting to pass the ball. When you draft a quarterback with the first overall pick, this team shouldn't be upset with changing the game plan to pass the ball. It's not like we're talking about a 7th round draft pick. We're talking about somebody that was the first overall pick in the National Football League. So if their game plan is to pass 40 times, that shouldn't be a problem. You drafted them with the first pick. Make it happen, Baker.
I mean, we both agree, but I just think if this team was clearly winning games and not struggling against the big teams, I don't think Odell will have a problem.
Let me ask you a question, Freddie. You're a wide receiver on the Cleveland Browns. You beat your man 18 times in a game, and you only get the ball thrown to you 3 times. When I say beat him, I mean you have times to get 15-yard catches, 20-yard catches, and your quarterback is throwing the ball away. Your quarterback is throwing completions. He's giving it to a guy only open for 2 yards. You're not going to have a problem with that?
Yes, it'll be frustrated. I'm not saying
no. That's all you had to say. It'll be
what I'm saying is, if we're winning games, it does make up for that.
But you said it was frustrating, so you're helping me out. So
I'm just saying it depends on that.
About 10 seconds a piece to wrap this.
I'm done.
It depends on what that player cares about more. That player cares about more about winning, or he cares about his numbers. It just depends on what that player mindset is on.
Hey, I want to take a quick say. Hey, Brandon Herrera, thank you for joining us tonight, man. Appreciate your comments and everything. What would you guys say is a fair offer for Sam Darnold? Dang, that's a good question, man. Because Darnold, I think he's got a lot of good positives, but we haven't seen enough from him because the Jets' offensive line is so horrible. So what do y'all think? What do y'all like? Okay, obviously the Browns would be. Well, the Browns aren't going to go for Trevor Lawrence. Let's be honest; they're sold on Baker Mayfield for whatever reason.
I don't know that. I don't know. I'm gonna wait till after the season because I think this season, 2 bad seasons in a row. I don't think they're going to be sold anymore. Honestly.
Exactly. I think this year the Browns are going into it. Okay, Baker, this is your year. You have to prove to us because you got to remember, isn't he still on his rookie contract?
Yes. He was drafted at the same time as Lamar and Josh Allen. All them.
So it's best to use your quarterback's use while they're still in that rookie contract. So he won't use you when you sign him to that big contract.
He's not getting a big contract. I'm sorry, no team.
Exactly. You do the same problem like a Carson Wentz with the Eagles, their cap space. You have the problem with the Rams when they gave Goff that big contract. There's a reason why Dallas don't want to give this. They're not invested in Dak because
Go ahead.
But they're afraid that it might hold down the cap. So when you talking about a Baker Mayfield, you need to, your contract is about up. We need to see what you are about before we invest in you long term.
I agree with you, but remember I said.
So what do you think the value though for Darnold is like? What do you think would be a fair offer if the Browns were going to go after Darnold? What would be a fair offer to give them? I'm thinking they're probably going to have to give him a draft pick.
2 draft picks and a quality starter. 2 high, 2 first round and a second round maybe, and a quality starter because he's better than Baker. He was a top 3 pick, easily should have been number 1. So it has to be multiple draft picks, and it has to be a quality player. What do you think about that?
I agree. So how much could Brown improve the Seahawks? I'm gonna go first, and then Freddie, you're gonna take that one, because I'm gonna let old boy wrap that thing up. And Chris, I personally think that Brown is a man. It depends. Right now, Russell Wilson is saying that he thinks that Brown has taken all the necessary steps and he's been humbled and this, that, and the other. He's going to have to humble himself. If he's going to help the Seahawks team out, he's going to have to humble himself, number 1. Number 2, they're starting – and I always said they need a clear number 1 wideout in Seattle. Brown is a clear number 1. They had Metcalf, he's borderline 1. Lockett, But Antonio Brown is a clear-cut number one wideout, straight up. And I think that I think he could help this team, honestly, absolutely. But he can't go in there with that cancerous ways. He's gonna have to be humble. He's gonna have to be a team guy. And he's gonna have to go in there and show out. What do you think, Freddie?
All right, let's take away off the field stuff away. Let's just talk about playing football, okay? First of all, DK Metcalf is a clear-cut number one for the Seattle Seahawks. Let's not be disrespectful. Tyler Lockett is the number two. Me personally, he can be big time for the Seattle Seahawks for one aspect of the game. That's a team that do struggle on third down. He can be on there the big third down target. But other than that, I don't know why. Man, I need to have a time to vent real quick, man. I just don't understand why the hell Green Bay Packers have not mentioned this man's name. You drafted a quarterback in the first round when you needed a wide receiver. Dude, you have one of the best wide receivers in the game available. He's going to be cheap. He has to prove himself. And you not the front leader to give Aaron Rodgers another weapon? Man, you better call Antonio Brown. Aaron Rodgers, you better call Big Ben to try to get his number. You better try to find some way to get Antonio Brown in Green Bay. Because, man, you let Russell Wilson get Antonio Brown? Oh, my, it might be over.
Hey, but they screwed that up in the draft. They took Jordan Love. Nothing against Jordan Love, but if they really wanted to help Aaron Rodgers, they really wanted to further their cause to go on a Super Bowl run, they would have used that one and not drafted Jordan Love. They would have got a speed out, wide receiver. There was plenty of wide receivers out there they could have grabbed.
There was a whole bunch.
But anyway, hey, what you got, Chris?
Listen, Freddie, you tripping. 99% of the teams Antonio Brown will be on, he is going to be the automatic number one. I think you forget how dominant he was in the NFL. Kudos to DK. He's very good. He's having a great year. Same thing with Tyler Lockett. But Antonio Brown is better. He's a far better route runner than any of them. He's a far better, he's shown his career. He goes deep better than almost anybody. He's deceptively fast. Listen, Antonio Brown, take away those big time wide receivers, the Julios, the D-Hops, the Michael Thomases, maybe even Keelan Allen, but he might be, Antonio Brown will go there. He's the number one. Listen, this Antonio Brown is a beast. What he's going to bring on the field, I understand they are struggling. For a team that's this great on offense, third down, they're only converting on 32%. That's the problem. I do think he will help them out. But, they're not struggling. They're receivers, but just adding him and having a whole bunch of receivers, that's going to be nice. But personally, I do think it's going to help them, but I don't think they should go get a wide receiver. Your defense is the problem. Go add somebody on defense. And what Freddie said, I do think Packers are tripping right now. We all agree that there's no reason why you draft a quarterback when your team went to the NFC Championship last year and was so close to making it. You go get another wide receiver to help Aaron Rodgers. But I wanted Antonio Brown to go to Baltimore. We all heard the reports, about Dez, but I wanted Antonio Brown to go to Baltimore. I feel like he had better seasons recently than Dez.
They just get Earl Thomas for locker room issues and stuff like that. Why would they go get another locker room issue guy and Antonio Brown? I don't think they're going to be willing to take on that.
He has
risk.
more locker room relationships, though. Even though he hasn't been on that team, he has more relationships with those guys.
You know what I'm saying? They just got rid of
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying from the football wise. I think Baltimore should have made. I know what you're saying about the locker room thing. I think
that's why they haven't done it.
Yeah, well, they got Dez, so that's why
they didn't bring back Ray Rice for his issues. They got rid of Earl Thomas for his issues. Why are they going to go get Antonio Brown for this? That would go against everything they've done up to now.
Me personally,
could they use Antonio Brown? Sure. I just think that's the reason why they haven't gone out and got him.
Dez going to fill that role. That's why they got a receiver which they needed. Dez can do that, fill that role.
Yeah. Now here's the deal. So would the Vikings be smart to make an offer to the Jets? Hell yeah, they'd be smart. Kirk Cousins ain't crap. So yeah, if they could swing some picks or whatever and try to sweeten that pot to the Jets, I mean, of course that would be that'd be perfect for them because Trevor Lawrence could do great things in Minnesota. I hate Minnesota, but he could do great ththings there. So yeah, would it be smart of them? Of course it'd be smart of them, especially since they're in rebuild mode. Why wouldn't you bring in Trevor Lawrence as your young quarterback? Of course, that'd be perfect for the rebuild mode. What do you guys think? Do you think you agree with that? You got different opinions?
Yeah, I mean, you have Kirk Cousins. Yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, I think they need to make that offer.
Chris, you got anything on that?
Yeah, I agree with everybody. I think Kirk Cousins showing this season. I mean, he's showing previous seasons, but it's really bad this year how bad he's playing. So I do think you try to throw out an offer because, like you said, they're in rebuild mode. They just made that trade with the Ravens to acquire some high draft, first round, second round, third round draft
They
picks.
could turn those picks from him if they were smart. They could turn those picks from him, send it over there, and keep Kirk Cousins as like your front runner while you're building up that team. And have Trevor Lawrence come in right behind him. And as
they're going to have to trade a lot, though. They're going to have to trade those picks and some players, honestly. I mean, yeah, they could. They were smart, but I don't know if that's.
But you know how it is. Like, we always said the most important position is what? The quarterback.
The quarterback, by far.
And so, I mean, like, look around, man. I mean, Trevor Lawrence would be the – I mean, honestly, if that's the case, why would you not put those draft picks on the most important position? You can always, they come out and get other free agents. But that once-in-a-lifetime generational quarterback, I don't know if Trevor Lawrence was going to be that, but he's not too bad. I mean, he's really freaking good. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think either way, I don't think they would go wrong trading picks for him. Nah, they're not going to go to a bubble-type system. That's too hard for them to be able to do that. And it's not like the NBA where you got only so many teams. I mean, they could go. I mean, if they stayed strictly to the hotel and strictly to that one campus, but I think that's just going to be incredibly. I think logistically, that's going to be too freaking hard for them to do that.
Not even that. They had.
Hey, I'm gonna move on real quick. Did they pull the trigger too early on Fitzpatrick? He's butthurt right now. Fitzy's butthurt. Go ahead, Freddie. I'm gonna let you take that one.
We was talking about this in our group chat. We had a few in there that felt that, it was disrespectful. Shouldn't have happened. This dude playing good. The Dolphins are second place in their division. But guess what? Fitz, you have to be that veteran, man. You should have known that eventually he was going to get benched for him. He might didn't expect it to be this early in the season, but he should have expected it to happen. He's not the future of this team. Tua is, obviously. So, I don't know why he's upset. So, what he needs to do now is be the leader that we know he is to help this young kid make it in this league, give him some advice that he needs, teach him how to work every day in the NBA life. And, hey, this kid might learn better about, walking the walk. Some people just need to walk the walk instead of hearing the talk. So, I definitely think was this a good move? Maybe they should have waited a couple of weeks. We don't know, but we shall see. Not this Sunday, but the following, because they have a bye this week, I believe.
What you think about that, Chris?
Yes, they pulled the trigger too early. Listen, you want to know why he's upset? You want to know why he had the reaction? They're 3-3, but let's look at their 3 losses. They lost to New England by 10. They lost to Buffalo, who everybody loves, by 3. And they lost to Seattle by 8. Okay, they're playing good football. Why do you bring Tua in right now? I personally don't agree with it. I love Tua.
You don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to. And I wouldn't put him in until you're out of the playoff race. Okay, they're not expected to make it into the playoffs. But listen, let Tua rest some longer. Why are you jeopardizing his career? He's had all these injuries problems. I know they say he's 100%. I want him to be 150%. I would probably, if I was going to put him in this season, it'd be around week 10, week 11, not this early. It was no point in putting him in this early. Fitzpatrick wasn't having a bad season. Like, it would be different if Fitzpatrick, they're 1-5. He's throwing a whole bunch of interceptions. Then I would understand it. But they made this lineup change after a win. He threw 2 interceptions, but at the end of the day, they're winning. They're winning, and that's what people are forgetting. We all know Tua is the future. We all understand.
Chris, you got to realize. Let me ask you.
I'm not done talking, though. I'm not done talking. Wait till I'm done talking.
I thought you were done.
Raise your hand, please. Raise your hand. Wait to be called on.
We all understand Tua is the future, but there's no point of bringing him in.
Are you done now?
Go ahead, Freddie.
All right, man. Let's not get caught up in the 6-game trap here, okay? Do any of you guys believe the Miami Dolphins are going to go to the playoffs this year? Come on. It's not even if they were, it's not about them going to the playoffs this year. Why are you trying to win games anyway? Me personally, if I'm the Miami Dolphins, I'm not trying to win too many games.
I'm trying those picks, baby.
I'm trying to get some draft picks to build a team where Tua will be ready for this thing. It's not about right now. They know that.
But nobody wants that watered down football.
You sure it's not about right now? They went out and signed Byron Jones. When they went out and they signed so many quality players. They don't want to tank. They don't want to tank. You want to sign a Byron Jones. You want to sign a Howard. You want to sign a Van Noy. I'm not even naming all the players. They signed like 7 to 8 key guys, very good NFL players. They're not trying to tank. They're not trying to tank. You can get a very good draft pick at number 17, 18. They're not going to be in the first 1 to 10 because they're more talented than those bottom teams.
Yeah, I got to agree. They're not. We all know Jets, hell, all of the NFC East. all those. There's so many teams that are so bad right now that the Dolphins are. It would be futile for them to tank, honestly. Hey, let me go ahead and get another ad going here. Could we please bring it up, sir? Today's show is brought to you by Suzanne Paparazzi Jewelry, where all products are lead and nickel. All products are $5. Special offer for ASAP Sports viewers. Free matching earrings when you buy a necklace. Order now at paparazziaccessories.com. Promo code 160920. Let's pick this bad boy up. So we're going to move on real quick. Given the dominance in game 1 by the Dodgers, and then we had a fairly good game with 2 homers by Lowe on the Rays side in game 2, who do you think is still kind of sort of considered the favorite? Do you think that the Dodgers are still kind of more heavily favored over the Rays due to their pitching, or do you think the bats from the Rays can counteract that?
I think the Dodgers should still be the favorites because I mean when you go out and pay, your payroll is the highest, one of the highest payrolls in the game. I think their pitching is going to offset it a little bit in the next game. I think it's going to 7 games. But can we expect the Dodgers to eventually get hot from batting, hitting the ball, like they did in the last series? We shall see. But I think it's going 7 games. In the last game, I think the Dodgers will take it, just like they did the last one. I would not be surprised if they take the Braves to take another game. If the Dodgers go down like 3-2 again, I will not be surprised if that happens. But I expect my Dodgers to pull it off. Especially with Kershaw pitching, by the way.
Yeah, and Adam talked about the Rays have the second best bullpen, and they do have a good bullpen. But we also saw what the Astros did to that bullpen too. I mean, they torched them a lot of the time. Honestly, the only thing that kept the Rays from would be Snell and Morton. Actually, just really kind of Charlie Morton. Their starting pitching is what took Game 7 away from the Astros. Charlie Morton pitched a gem against his former teammates. And McCullers came out and didn't pitch so well. And that's what got them into the World Series. Brandon Harris is going 7 games. A team that win Game 6 will win Game 7. I don't know, Brandon. I hear what you're saying. I think I do agree with Freddie. And Chris, I'm coming to you next. Mm-hmm. I do agree with Freddie that the Dodgers are going to win this series just because I firmly believe they had the better starting pitching. Hey, they have Mookie Betts, and we all know how, but they also have a Rosarena. So I get what you're saying. Some of them are kind of offsetting each other. But I think at the end of the day, man, I think it's going to be the Dodgers. I think it will go 7 games to Herrera's point. But I see the Dodgers at the end of the day. What you got, Chris?
Are you reading my notes? Because that's what I have written down. Dodgers in 7. First of all, I think we all agree that this is going 7. And, to Brandon's point, whoever wins Game 6 is winning Game 7. I don't think so. I think the Dodgers are going to be up 3-2, lose Game 6, and win Game 7. But, like you said, and like it comes down to in baseball, pitching matters. You win with pitching, and I do believe the Dodgers have the best pitchers.
Amen, brother. All right, we're going to push this on to the next one. Devin Bush, injury. How is that going to affect the Steelers' defense, especially since they go against the Titans in the battle of the undefeated at 1 o'clock on Sunday? Freddie, will this injury affect them? Yes or no? Because from according to the Steelers, and I kind of do believe that he is an important part of that the linebacking core. What do you think?
It's going to definitely impact them this Sunday when you're going against a Derrick Henry. Just think about it. You have to have somebody to stop him, and this dude is not a scrub. But then again, you do have Tomlin as a coach, and who's a defensive-minded coach. He's like not. I'm not comparing him, but he has that Bill Belichick mindset of do your job, next man up mentality. I think he's preaching that to his team mindset. The next man up have to step up, but it's definitely going to be hard when you don't have the talent on the field, and they definitely cannot take too many more injuries because if so, that elite defense can turn non-elite real fast, quick in a hurry.
What you got there, Chris?
No, I gotta disagree with that last part. This defense, even knock on wood, we don't wish injuries on nobody, but even if they lose somebody, this defense has way too many guys to just go down from an elite defense to average defense with 2 players being hurt. But I do say that Devin Bush is a big factor in this defense, but they're still talented. You look at the pass rush, you have Watt, you have Dupree. You look at the safeties, you have Edmonds, you have Minka. This team has guys, and yes, it is the next man up. Yes, that stiff arm was crazy. Devin Bush would have played a huge factor in this Titans game, but this defense is way too talented to just drop off just because not taking anything away from him, but just because somebody got hurt. It's going to be next man up. This defense is legit. They got a lot of veterans. Their D line is good. That's why they're one of the best in stopping their runs. Devin Bush was a part of that, but it's a team thing. And with the next man up mentality, with all these great players, I don't see a big drop off coming down.
Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna give a follow-up question to this. So right now, currently, people are rating the Seahawks at around number 1, probably Green Bay at number 2, and Chiefs 3, whatever, and probably and so forth. Somewhere the Titans will probably. Well, some people had the Titans and the Chiefs between 3 and 4, whatever. Let me ask you this:
Yes.
If the Titans beat the Steelers on Sunday, where does that catapult them in the rankings?
Number one. Without a doubt, number 1, undefeated. Now they just went on and beat. Everybody wants to say the Texans is so bad, their defense is bad, their running game is bad. But I think I said they have some of the best weapons in the NFL. They just have to be consistent. So that being a big scoring game, I'm not surprised. But now you're going in against a great defense. So if they can beat this great defense and put points up on the board, and they have to stop them too, because as we had the Titans report, as we've been watching them. Their defense has been struggling this year, which is surprising because they have so many good players. So if they go on to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, there's no team that should be ranked above them. Listen, the Seahawks can win. That's fine. That's fine. But the Titans, if they win this, they're showing that they're a more complete team, offense and defense. I'm not putting Packers above them. They got punched in the mouth. I have questions on them right now. Listen, the Titans will be undefeated. They beat so many good teams. They put on great performances, great all around the board. Number 1. Anything other than that, you honestly just a hater.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with you. I honestly believe that the Tennessee Titans, given every single week, are getting better and better every week. And I'm telling you, that's why I firmly believe that these guys are the legit team because they're getting better and better every week. And I would not be surprised, and I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers and that doesn't.
I wouldn't be surprised neither because let's be honest. This Pittsburgh team is good. They are good, but let's not act like they've played elite teams so far. They really haven't played too many elite teams. So if they beat,
that's why this game is so important.
Yeah, for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's more important for Pittsburgh to win this game than it is for the Titans, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, either way, I just think it's a good litmus test for the Titans where they are and the Steelers where they are. So we'll have to wait and see how that did. Did I see the Raiders game get bumped? Yeah, I think they put it over to. If I'm not correct, did they put it over to Monday or Sunday?
It's over the 25th on Sunday. Sunday the 25th.
Yeah, because they did that game, and there was also another game that they put over there too as well, wasn't it? It was 2 games that they had moved, wasn't it?
I only seen that one.
I'll have to go back and look at that. All right, hey, so we're going to move on real quick. All right, this is kind of going back, and we're kind of delve in more into the Jets now. If you're Trevor Lawrence and the Jets are drafting first, do you pull an Eli Manning and try to get traded to another team, or do you just say, hell with this and just go back to Clemson?
Who's this for?
I'm going to start off with Freddie.
No, I wouldn't because you never know what might happen in the next year. You never know what might happen if injury. You never know. You take your opportunity while you can. This is a lifetime decision right here, man. This is once in a lifetime. Everybody do not get this opportunity. We all understand how awful the Jets are, and let's just say the Jets don't need a quarterback. I mean, people keep acting like the Jets need a quarterback. We don't need a quarterback. They don't need a quarterback at all. They have Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is a good quarterback. You put the right pieces around him, give him the right coach, that team will be good. So let's stop acting like they have to draft Trevor Lawrence. You don't have to do it. You guys said it before. Use that number one pick, trade it for other picks, and put people around Sam Darnold. But for Trevor Lawrence, man, you don't pass up this opportunity. This you only come once in a lifetime. You could have a career-ending injury next year. You never know.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Chris?
Yeah, I gotta agree. You go to the NFL now. You've been, everybody believes you're NFL ready, and I have to agree with Freddie. Sadly, I'm tired of these reports saying that, oh, the Jets have the first pick. He needs to go back to college. He shouldn't go. He should try to. The Jets. Well, if they're smart enough, because they are the Jets, so let's not try to give them too much credit. If they're smart enough, they realize I have a very talented quarterback. I don't need to replace him. It's not like a Josh Rosen situation where he was getting moved around. It's not like you have a decent veteran. No, you have a young quarterback who is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but you need to surround him with offensive linemen. You need to surround him with wide receivers. So therefore, no, Trevor Lawrence shouldn't be afraid to go to the Jets. I don't think he'd end up in the Jets if they're smart. And even if he gets drafted to the Jets, you're in the NFL. But I wouldn't be surprised, though, if reports is coming that the Jets are trying to get him and they make trades and they're trying to do all this, that he would pull Eli Manning. And you could say be grateful you're going into the NFL, but it's, first of all, it's not just like, look at a lot of these top picks, they're going from a winning college, winning high school to one of the worst teams in the NFL. So you got to wrap your mind around that. But it's also another thing where you go into an organization that is like they don't care about winning. They're not putting the best players in the best position. They're not going out to try to get the best players. So therefore, if they did try to trade Darnold and get Lawrence, I wouldn't be mad if he did pull out Eli Manning. Or let's say who did it first, John Elway.
But Chris, what if he get hurt, man? What if you have a career-ending injury?
I said go to the draft. Go to the draft, but you could bully Eli Manning and John Elway and say I'm not going to get drafted to this team.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know what? What do you say? One of you guys pick Ryan as your MVP. Any chance if Titans run away, we could? I don't know. Co-MVP from the same team, Ryan and Henry. I don't know. Do you get that? Do you get that the same one?
No co-MVPs in the
NFL. I don't see Ryan being the MVP. No way. I do not see Ryan being the MVP. Any chance if Titans run away, we could go co-MVP.
Didn't you just say the other night you picking him as your MVP the other night?
He said MVP right now. He said MVP. I will say this: if the Titans have a great record, top 2 seeds in the AFC, he has.
Oh, Ryan Tannehill. I'm sorry, man. I apologize. I'm thinking
Matt Ryan.
No, I'm thinking Fitzpatrick. I don't know what the hell. My brain is out of whack right now. I apologize. No, yeah, Tannehill is. I do, man. No, absolutely, and I still stand by that. I still think Tannehill is the MVP right now. I honestly, right now, currently where we are right now, what he's done with the Tennessee Titans, and I think if we see it, if what I believe is going to happen with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it happens, that will solidify for me his MVP status. If he beats that Steelers team, I hands down, I put Tannehill in that category, especially where he came from. I can't give him comeback player of the year because that's Alex. That's Alex Smith all day. But if Alex Smith wasn't in the equation, I would get a comeback player to Ryan Tannehill all day. That dude came from purgatory in Miami to the heavens in Tennessee.
He would have got that last year. It wouldn't be this year. He would have got that last year.
Well, yeah, exactly. Okay, but you know what I'm saying, though. I mean, the guy's definitely come a long way from where he was at. But with Trevor Lawrence, dang, man. I mean, I don't think the Jets. If the Jets take Trevor Lawrence, that really means that they gave up on Darnold. And I don't think they've given up on Darnold. I think they're still invested in Darnold. So I do see them trading down. I don't think the Jets are going to stay at that number one spot. I think they're going to trade down for picks. And it could be a Minnesota that comes up and tries to nab them. I mean, I wouldn't blame Minnesota if they did that. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But I wouldn't blame them one bit if they did that. I mean, who else could do it? I really think that who else really needs a quarterback that bad?
Minnesota, Cleveland are honestly the top two.
Maybe Detroit does it.
No, Matthew Stafford is still doing his thing. They don't need a quarterback.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying they bring him in to put behind Stafford. Look, Stafford ain't gonna last forever. You can start grooming him now.
He's not going to go that low.
So how about?
You don't think but you don't think? Well, I got you. I got what you're saying. All right, we'll move on. Hey,
Freddie, you were about to ask a dumb question. No, the Cowboys are not going to draft them. No, the Eagles not going to draft them. So don't ask the dumb question about that.
I got my finger up. We need to follow the rule of the finger.
It's the hand, not the finger.
Or hand, finger, whatever.
No, you good. Go ahead, Freddie.
My New York Giants. They have Daniel Jones, but do they really believe he might be the real dude? I mean, if you can get a hands on the Trevor Lawrence, if I'm New York.
Wait a minute. I got to stop you real quick. So right now we're on Giants. I'm confused. Is it Giants week or Packers week? Because I know they rotate.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm with that. Whichever team wins. I'm just saying,
My God, you just admitted that on national TV. Don't ever talk to me about football teams ever again in your life.
America. I
feel like he walked into that.
America.
He walked right into it.
I'm a Giants fan and I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. Let's get that straight. So I think if you're not sold on Daniel Jones, if he's still fumbling the ball, throwing the ball away, and if you can get a Trevor Lawrence, I definitely think if you're the Giants, you need to get Trevor Lawrence. In my opinion,
that was out of the equation. I just think he needs more time to develop. I mean, that whole team the Giants
needs help. He needs help, just like the Jets. I come at Daniel Jones.
I wouldn't give up on him. He's doing.
He needs help.
Nice game.
He needs help.
You can't give up on that guy just yet, Freddie. I mean, your whole team's in rebuild mode. Why are you trying to go to Trevor Lawrence? What you need to do is go get some more offensive linemen.
Yes.
That's what you need to do.
I'm just saying, I bet you Dallas would like him. I bet you the Philadelphia like him as well, too.
No, we wouldn't. Dallas wouldn't take him. The Dak Prescott and Andy Dalton, and we just drafted Hurts and we have Wentz. Just because your team is bad and need a quarterback doesn't mean our team's
I'm going to tell you right now,
man.
You know who's going to look good in a few years? Is going to be
Hurts.
the Eagles with Hurts. When Hurts takes over the reins of that team,
I don't know if he's going to take over the reins, but wherever he goes, I think he's going to be a very good.
I will get rid of Carson Wentz before Hurts. I guarantee you that.
I doubt it.
If he's more durability than the Wentz, because Wentz is fragile. Like
Wentz has been sacked and hit more than any quarterback in the league, and has gotten up every single time.
He can't take hits.
Did you just hear everything I just said? Let's move on because I'm not trying to.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. Hey, Cam Newton or Michael? This is what I've been waiting for. Because in my opinion, these guys are so close, but they're the same style of quarterback. Cam Newton, Michael Vick, in their primes. Who you going with and why? Freddie, I'm gonna let you take that first, and then Chris, I'm gonna let you wrap it up.
This is so this is so hard, man. I was looking at the stats.
Disrespectful. Stop saying that.
Yeah, I was looking at the stats earlier. And I was so bad I wanted to choose Michael Vick. So bad. So bad, Chris. So bad. But I was looking at stats, man, and I was like, man. Like, because Cam Newton Michael Vick, he played about 14 years in the league. And, man, Cam Newton already had better stats than him, man. I mean, and then Cam Newton went to the Super Bowl. We gotta take that. We gotta take that in conclusion, man. I mean, you just gotta be a realist. I mean, let's put these stats up, man. For Michael Vick's career, and this is just on passing numbers right here. He had 1,800 completions. He had 3,217 attempts. He completed about 56% of his passes, and he had 22,464 yards. He had 133 touchdowns and 88 interceptions, okay? I mean, for rushing, the dude was elite rushing. He had 6,000 rushing yards, and he played 14 years in the NFL. But let's look at Cam Newton's stats. I mean, like I said, stats tell you everything, right? I mean, this dude has played 9 years, really 8 years in his career because he was hurt last year. So are we going to
Your quarterback is trash. I don't mean to cut you off, but he could have had a 97-yard run and he tripped over his own 2 feet and fell in his face. I'm sorry. It's a great run by him, but he fell in his face. That's hilarious. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm mad at my Eagles, but the fact that he fell in his face is hilarious.
I agree with that actually. Very much so.
I just seen that. Let's get back on topic. Cam Newton, in 9 years that he played, he's already have better stats. His career stats is he have about.
You got about 2 seconds. I'm going to Chris.
Please,
Chris. I'm going to Chris.
Yeah, come on. You got to be ready, Fred.
Chris, let's go, man.
Listen. You keep talking about my man. First of all, it's Michael Vick, hands down. You keep talking about Michael Vick played 14 years in the league. Let's not forget he had to miss 2 full seasons because of that unfortunate incident. Then the next season, he didn't play that much. Then look at the back end of his career when he was a backup because he missed the prime of his career. The last 3 years, with Philadelphia, he got injured. They brought in Nick Foles. He was done. Then in the Jets, he was a backup. Then in Pittsburgh, he's a backup. So you're talking about the prime Michael Vick because he said in the prime. You're talking about prime Michael Vick. When he was with the Falcons, he didn't have the best team around him, but he was still making plays. We talking about innovating the run game. You had the Randall Cunninghams. He took a step. You had the Warren Moons. You had the Steve Youngs. But Michael Vick, the only person I'm putting next to him is Lamar Jackson. This dude is really a running back. No, I'm not saying he's not a quarterback, but when I mean he's a running back at quarterback, I mean this dude is a better runner than some of these running backs in the NFL. Michael Vick was explosive. He had all the jukes. He talking about passing the ball. He had a cannon. I remember the game where he went against the Washington, their football team. I'm not going to call them what their name was back then, but he was throwing 70, 80-yard bombs. Michael Vick has a cannon. Cam Newton is good and all. He's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Cam Newton fan, but I'm not picking Cam Newton over Michael Vick because I do believe if Michael Vick didn't miss the prime of his career, his stats would have been way, way better because you talking about all these years and he played the NFL. You're talking about 2 years as a backup, 3 years where he didn't see the field. So that's really what 8, 9 years in the NFL. Come on now, let's be honest.
But Chris, whose fault is that? That's not Cam's fault.
And it say he was. I didn't put the blame on anybody. I'm telling you.
So
that's why I'm picking him.
All right, hold on, gentlemen. Hold on now. I agree. With I would say this: speed kills.
Yes.
And accuracy kills. And I do think that Vic was a little bit more accurate. I do think he's way faster than Cam. The only thing that I will put Cam has over Vic is he has a little bit more durability and a little bit more size.
Yes, I was going to get to that.
At the same time, like you said, I think Cam's a little bit more clumsier than Vic. Vic is, man, that dude in his prime, not with the Eagles, but with the Falcons, before all that dog scandal. Oh, my Lanta. Yeah, that dude was killing it.
Don't start dancing now.
Hey, we got some more topics to get through. We'll come back on another show.
14-10. My New York Giants, his Eagles.
Okay, game not over. You see my face? Why am I tripping?
Hey, who's having the better rookie season right now? And I want y'all to really think about this now. I understand Burrow's number one, but I want y'all to really, really think about it. Who is having the better season, Burrow or Herbert?
Let Freddie go first so he can redeem himself for messing up Cam Newton and Michael Vick. Let's see if he gets this one right.
Go ahead.
Of course, Joe Burrow. I mean, look, the numbers don't lie. I mean, let's not get it all messed up. The dude have 1,000 yards this year. Has 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I mean, he's playing on a horrible team with an offensive line. I mean, he has the wideouts, but the offensive line is horrible. The dude is running like a chicken with his neck cut off. And then you look at Justin, he have 931 yards for the season, 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. His QBR is better, but he have a better team around him. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, so Joe Burrow is clearly having a better rookie season so far this year.
What you think about that, Chris?
First of all, Freddie, I just want to. I'm just curious on where you bring your stats up because Herbert has over 1,000 yards this year, not 900. Okay. Yes, Joe Burrow has the better stats because Joe Burrow is the expected starter. Justin Herbert was, supposed to be in backup position, but Tyrod Taylor ended up getting hurt. Now, I do have to agree. I think, I don't agree with you, honestly. I lied. Just wanted to make you feel better. Herbert to me is having a better year. You look at the games he played so far against the Saints. He had a phenomenal game. 20 for 30, 4 touchdowns, 264 yards. Against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 3 touchdowns, 290 yards. Against the Carolina Panthers, 330 yards and a touchdown. Against the Kansas City Chiefs, 311 yards and a touchdown. Almost won that game as a rookie. You can say, oh, who has the better team? Who has the better team? Justin Herbert offensive line isn't that much better than the Bengals. The wide receivers, you can honestly give the edge to the Bengals. No disrespect to Joe Burrow. I think he's going to be great in this league. But you ask me right now who I think is playing better as a rookie. I'm going with Justin Herbert.
And I think you're starting to copy my notes because that's exactly who I got, baby.
Strong minds think alike.
People sleeping on Justin Herbert and Brandon Herrera Jefferson for the Vikings, hands down. Yeah, I can see that. I like Jefferson. Jefferson is he's really freaking good. Mm-hmm. But no, Herbert, hey, look, Burrow, people are so hyped up on Burrow. And Burrow is in a rough situation with Cincinnati, and I get that, man. But you know what, like you said earlier, Herbert does not have necessarily the better team either. I mean, Eckler's hurt. They don't have a great running back right now. They're running with some scrubs. So Keenan Allen, I mean, that's why the best wide receiver threat.
No, Mike Williams. Mike Williams is a beast.
Mike Williams, I apologize, Mike Williams. But no, I feel like with what Herbert has, just like with what Burrow has, Herbert's making more of that opportunity than what Burrow is. And that's just
running around like a chicken with his neck cut off like Burrow is, man. I mean, stop it. I mean, the dude is not playing with much at all.
He has all the weapons. He has all the weapons. He has all the weapons necessary. That's why he has stats.
You have to keep the same stand like you say Carson Wentz. Carson, you say his offensive line not there. Guess what? Yeah. You say he's running around like a chicken with guess what? But you still say he's that dude.
Yeah. 10 seconds,
I said
you can't do much without the offensive line, Chris.
Yeah, I understand that, and I gave him respect. The question was, who do I think's having a better year? Justin Herbert, to me, is having a better year.
And to me, he still put up the numbers with a horrible offensive line.
Okay, congratulations. Eat a cookie. Next topic.
I mean, I'm doing the whole offensive line.
Eat a cookie, Freddie. Grab a cookie.
I don't like cookie. I like brownies.
Too bad. So sad.
I bet you do. That ganja brown. Should the Rockets look to trade Westbrook for picks?
Oh my God.
I'm gonna take this first.
Yes, please. I wanted you to.
You know what? Yes, absolutely. I would do it. As a new coach coming in, yeah. I want to trade Westbrook for picks because I want to go after a big man and a point guard. So either through the free agency or through the draft. Well, that's what we need. We need because once Westbrook leaves, we're gonna need a point guard. So I would like to look. I wouldn't be upset to try to bring Chris Paul back. And trade Westbrook for picks and go after, like you said, Wiseman or somebody out there that they can bring in as a potential big and build that team around that nucleus. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm definitely up for trading Westbrook to bring in a big and a potential point guard. What do you got, Freddie?
Me personally, I wouldn't trade Westbrook not after the first year. I think you should give him at least 2 years. Because I mean, you have to understand that they got rolling, and then the season was shut down. But if I was the Rockets, maybe you trade Eric Gordon, maybe try to get free up some cap space, and if you can maybe trade him to maybe like the Lakers, maybe you can get like a JaVale McGee or somebody like that to come in and be that rim protector that you need. I think Westbrook and Harden are boys. I think they're tight. I think they can hold each other accountable. They know, hey, you slip it, hey, boy, you need to pick it up, vice versa. They've been working. They've been playing. They've been playing.
Go ahead and talk. I don't understand why you getting,
about your Eagles, my friend.
That's not why I got mad, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. They've been playing with each other since back when they was in California. They've been playing. This is not the first time they played with each other. Even with Oklahoma City days, when Harden was on the bench and Westbrook was the star. But I definitely think if you can get a JaVale McGee or some kind of big like that, I know Chris, he talked about Miles Turner in Indiana, somebody like that for Eric Gordon. I wouldn't give up on Westbrook too easily. That's just my opinion.
What you got, Chris?
Listen, first of all, you're disrespecting Eric Gordon by saying him and JaVale McGee is in the same class. JaVale McGee is good, but Eric Gordon is worth way more than a JaVale McGee. That's what you said, so let's just move on. Listen, I don't think I like him and James Harden together. I do think they need a big man. So, like Freddie said, I would explore trading, some other pieces. Maybe not, Eric Gordon because he's a key, player unless they can replace his production. But I do think you keep those guys together. And everybody knows
you can package like a Covington, a Robert Covington, and somebody else.
Yes, and get a big man. That's what I was going to say. You try to trade one of those other guys because I like that duo together. But with that being said, if you're having packages that, you get in somebody trying to trade you maybe multiple picks or good players. If you have the right package, I admit.
Hold on a minute. I want to address
the dumbest thing ever.
I wouldn't mind doing that.
Yeah, but the Minnesota's not doing that.
Number one pick.
Yeah, Minnesota. He's not worth the number one pick. I'm sorry. I know you wouldn't mind it. You would love it, but he's not worth that number one pick.
Yeah.
He's not worth it. I think they're going to get some offers for him. Like maybe from the Charlottes. Maybe.
But I'm going to take that idea just for a second. I'm going to go to daydream land for a minute. I would love to see that because you know what? Okay, watch it. If they would agree to that, I would take that number one pick, trade it down for like one or two, or for like try to get 2 picks out of it, and try to get a big man and a point guard. Because I'm not going to go for LaMelo, but I would go try to get a big and another possible point guard. If they could get if I could get 2 picks for the number one pick, yeah, man, Freddie, we need it. If you could go 2 picks for one, that'd be great.
I love the daydreaming. But I don't even.
I'm sorry. I had to go to one brief moment.
And let me tell you why I wouldn't even trade down because I would just get the best by far big man in the draft and James Wiseman and just roll with that. But I'm not going to go get into him too much because we're going to talk about that. But back on topic, I don't unless you're getting a good offer. I think like the Knicks or the Charlotte Hornets might throw something out there. I don't see Russell Westbrook being the first guy you ship out. And if you do ship him out, it's certain things that you want back. One, you want picks because you have no picks. So as an organization, you want to be right for the future. 2, I know you're saying point guard, but I think big man first. I'm with big man first, then look for another ball handler. Definitely look for a big man first, then get another ball handler. But I don't think Russell Westbrook should be the first on the trading block. I think one of those role players put together a deal. Russell Westbrook should be last, but if you get a great offer you can't pass down, make it happen. I just want to address something Freddie said. That's fine that they best friends. That's fine they've been playing with each other, but Russell Westbrook isn't the organization. Russell Westbrook isn't about to be the new GM. They make the decisions. They could be schools, I don't know what. They'll still get traded.
I understand that, Chris. What I'm just saying is as tight as they are, they can hold each other accountable. Chris Brown and James Harden got into it with each other at the end of the season.
I don't play basketball.
Chris Paul, I'm sorry, they got into it. Him and James Harden. Why? Because they cannot hold each other accountable. When you have Westbrook and James Harden, they can they can say pull each other's sides. Say, hey, we need to get together. We need to get through this. And not only the reason why Westbrook is big to that team is because he can relieve the pressure off of James Harden. Let's not forget that. Do James Harden want to be just the primary guy again? I don't think so. We've seen his playoff record. We've seen how he played the playoffs. He have a wonderful season, but in the playoffs, he go from here to. Because guess what? He's the only man there. He's getting tired. And one last thing, you say they're not the GM, not the coach, but guess
what? 10 seconds, Freddie.
You say they're not the GM, not the coach, but guess what? If the James Harden say, you know what, you want to get rid of my dude, I'm not playing. I guarantee you they'll change some things around there in Houston.
All right, Chris, you got about 10 seconds. Go.
That's fine. All I need is 10 seconds. Listen, you talking about Russell Westbrook holding James Harden accountable. The reason why Chris Paul isn't here right now because I think James Harden was scared of the pressure. Chris Paul is the king of holding people. No, not because of the pressure of the playoffs, but because Chris Paul is the king of holding people accountable. So Chris Paul was holding James Harden accountable. He just didn't like it. Russell Westbrook just his friend, so it's going to come off different. Don't act like Chris Paul wasn't doing his job. He was doing his job. Russell Westbrook was just his friend.
We agree.
No, all right.
I don't agree.
We're going to go to this last topic, gentlemen. Do the Golden State Warriors trade the number 2 pick for a ready-now player like Oladipo or whoever else they may be looking out there for? Or do they take Wiseman? What you got, Freddie? I'm going to let you start it because I know Chris has got a lot of good info on this, but Freddie, I'm going to let you start it off. Go ahead.
I think, you have the point guard, you have the shooting guard, you have the small forward in Wiggins, you have Draymond Green at the 4. The only thing you're really missing in the starting lineup is a center. And if they believe Wiseman is the best center available, you draft the center. Because all the other pieces in place, only thing that they need left is maybe, you work on your bench. I want to go get a Victor Oladipo. I want to go get a Bradley Beal. I want to get none of them players. I would definitely, in the draft, get Wiseman. He's the best big man in the draft. and I would draft them. You need a big man who can go in the paint, also shoot threes, and be like a modern day Miles Turner or somebody like that.
What you got, Chris?
Listen, everybody knows how I feel about this. If the Warriors, when they should draft James Wiseman, they will have by far the best starting five in basketball. People forget because everybody was hurt. How you shaking your head? No team is going to compare to have 5 quality guys. I love the Lakers. They're not going to have 5 quality guys.
We don't do that.
Oh, okay, Freddie. Be quiet. Sit down. I'm talking. Be quiet. Sit down. I'm talking. Listen, I love the Sixers. They're not going to have such a complete starting five. People forget because they were hurt. Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson are arguably the best backcourt of all time, arguably the 2 best shooters of all time. Andrew Wiggins, to me, is going to have his best years with Golden State. Why? Because this is a real system. In Minnesota, he had a whole bunch of different coaches, never played in a true system like this, and a great system like this. Steve Kerr is going to demand excellence. I think he always had all-star ability. I think Steve Kerr is going to, in that system, help him to become an all-defensive type of player, which he has the ability to. You look at Draymond, he's going to be healthy, remotivated. You get a starting center in there, fine. I do agree they have to work on that bench. But trading for Giannis, how is that going to help you? Who's going to be the center? Giannis? No, I don't think Giannis is going to work at the center. Who's going to be the center? Draymond Green? He can play center situationally, not starting-wise. Go get a center. Have the best starting five. There's some other packages out there saying put a package together, maybe get Victor Oladipo and Miles Turner. That's nice and all. I would probably do that above Giannis, but don't do it. I think Andrew Wiggins, right? I'll take Andrew Wiggins with the Warriors above Victor Oladipo, and I'll take James Wiseman right now above Miles Turner. It's a lot of packages out there for that number two pick, not just Giannis, but like I said, you have Victor Oladipo, Miles Turner, and much more. I think the Warriors, they're known for drafting great players. Outside of Wiggins, everybody else in that team's been drafted. You look at Pascal, he's a diamond in the rough. He's a gem that they drafted. This team is excellent when it comes to drafting. So you go ahead. I know. I don't love him, but Jay McLovin's my guy. Listen, this team's excellent at drafting. So go ahead, draft Wiseman. Have, like I said, the best starting five. And listen, you talking about the future. I'm talking about when the draft happens. They will have the best starting five in basketball, and they'll take it off for there. I know he's young, but he has so much upside. To me, I think he can have a career like Anthony Davis.
That's some good points, everybody. I personally think if you're going to go up against these Lakers and say I guess they just re-signed Anthony Davis. I got to look into that.
Mm-hmm.
So that means they're keeping that big squad together. They got the big 2 guys, in Howard and McGee. They got plenty of height. They got plenty of athleticism to protect the paint.
You need to
match. And I really
it.
think that if the Warriors are, it's a different time now. It's a different style. So if the Warriors are going to compete, they got the right pieces, but they do need size to contend with the size that the Lakers are going to put on them. And so by bringing in Wiseman, that's going to give them the size that they need, and I do agree with Chris. That would give them the size to compete with the Lakers. I'm going to tell you right now, if they're smart, and number 2 and bring in Wiseman, Freddie, you might want to start worrying.
Why should I worry? Because bringing it over.
Why should you worry?
Anthony,
why should you worry? You know what? That's okay. I don't want you to worry because when they slap you in the face, and you're looking at the face of defeat. I'm going to remind you of this day. This day is going to go down in infamy. Chris, what you got for me?
Listen, I will say this. I don't listen. This year in the playoffs, I'm not saying the Lakers had an easy run, but what I'm saying is they dominated every single team because every single team they played couldn't compete with them. This is nothing against the Lakers. This is just how dominant they are. I'm not saying they play easy competition because they play some great teams, but I'm saying that Lakers team was dominant. So going into next year, Freddie, I know you don't want to say you're getting worried, but there's so much talent coming into the West. I'm not saying the Warriors are going to dominate them, but what I'm saying is it's not like the Lakers are writing the Warriors off. No, LeBron James knows firsthand how good those players are. I know they don't have KD no more, but they still got to the championship without KD. They still have that key nucleus. So I'm not sitting up here and saying the Warriors are the championship favorite. But what I am saying is that the Western Conference, it was great this year, but best believe, ladies and gentlemen, the Western Conference will be 155 million gazillion times better next year. Believe that.
Chris, and I got to ask a question, and I'm coming back to you. So hold on a minute, Freddie, man. Mm-hmm. So Brent Herrera brings up a good point here. Now,
yes.
He said, Chris, would your Warriors take be different if Ball is at number 2, or different? Ball is at number 2. So if Minnesota doesn't take Ball, what if Minnesota takes Wiseman?
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do with the pick at that point? Do you trade it down for another deal, or do you? Because are they not going to really take? I can't see them taking Ball.
Yeah, well, I will say this: Ball would be like how D'Angelo Russell would, and I think they like Wiggins more than Russell. Because I honestly, when I look at them, right, I don't think Ball is a bad pick, but they need a center. And then if you look at drafting, Alonzo, Draymond at the 5, that's not going to work every single night. They're going to have to bring in some big men. I don't think it would be a problem, but I don't think it's the right, pick. So if Ball was at number 2, you have other players. You have a Tobin, you have an Anthony Edwards, but I don't think they should draft a guard unless they can bring in a Dwight Howard off the bench, unless they can have multiple big men, on their roster. Because if that's the case, you can say, okay, put LaMelo Ball. And listen, if they can bring in some quality centers, if they could bring a Dwight, a JaVale, because those guys are free agents, Freddie. You know that. And I'm just naming some free agent centers. If they can bring in a Tristan Thompson, if they can bring in a Andre Drummond, I'm just naming good centers at free agents. And you can draft the LaMelo or even Anthony Edwards, but I think LaMelo is better than Anthony Edwards. Not taking anything away from him, I think he'll have a good career. But if you could draft a LaMelo and let's say, hey, I'm bringing LaMelo as my 6th man, and LaMelo can have a James Harden type of career. We all knew James Harden. Well, if you didn't know, James Harden was a beast at Arizona State. So getting drafted that early, he just so happened to come off the bench, but he played starter minutes. If you can bring LaMelo and he can have that James Harden, that Manu Ginobili type of effect right now, and I don't know, and then he could be there for the future as well. I wouldn't be mad at that only if they can bring us some starting quality centers.
Can I go now, please? I've been hearing all the jibber.
First of all, Freddie, he just said you was going after me. Have patience.
All right, y'all been telling the book, and I just been sitting.
You get to the point, sir. We are tired of the filibustering.
All right, let me get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris did not lie to you to say that the West is going to be much better because the Golden State Warriors will be back.
Not just them.
All right, so let's just be honest with you. We're the Lakers. We won the championship. We ain't scared of nothing. We ain't afraid of nothing. Chris make 11. We ain't worried about nothing. We know what the Splash Brothers bring to the table. We know what Draymond bring to the table. Andrew Wiggins, he not gonna be nothing to us because guess what? LeBron gonna lock him up. But we're gonna make sure we have people that can run Steph and Clay off that perimeter. We're gonna make sure of that. And then you talking about getting Wiseman, he ain't stopping Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis gonna be like this. Barbecue chicken all night long. Rookie? Oh, please stop it. Let's put some respect on Anthony Davis' name. You guys act like the Lakers are not going to get better. Don't you guys know that we're going to try to add a 3rd star to this roster?
Better. If you don't, you are cooked like Kentucky Fried
Chicken.
We're
going to try to bring a 3rd.
The Lakers come out and say it out their mouths. That's just speculation. So
no, this is what the Lakers do. We're not Philadelphia. We're not Houston. This is what the Lakers do. Stars, we bringing stars. We don't have a 3rd piece nugget to this team. You best believe it.
Listen, Freddie, first of all, nobody said they should be scared. I'm just saying they know. So first of all, you talking about the Lakers, I ain't listening to you because I know how they're going to prepare. What I'm saying is they know it's going to be a tough challenge. They know they're going to have to prepare for some tough teams. You're saying, oh, we're not scared of nobody. Of course they're not scared of nobody. They grown men. They the best at their job at what they do. But I'm saying, okay, they understand how tough this challenge is going to be this year. Listen, Freddie, we all know that you're a super delusional fan. Okay, we all understand.
Can we agree that Freddie's name should be changed to Mr. Delusional?
Yes, because you get mad every time somebody mentions the Lakers, you think they're disrespecting them. When all everybody's doing is saying we acknowledge how great they are, but just look at these other teams. You look at it as a sign of disrespect when you should be looking at it as a challenge, like people that are competitive do.
Well, I mean, we all know it's going to be a challenge, but they shouldn't be worried.
What he just said is, Freddie, you're just a big baby.
We should be worried.
You're a big baby. That's what he said. Freddie, you're a big baby. That's what he's saying.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying that you're disrespecting, but McLovin said that should be worried. That we should be worried, and we shouldn't be worried at all.
This is all I'm going to say, Freddie. You have the Warriors. You're going to have Mavericks. You're going to have the Nuggets. Those are just a couple teams. The Clippers are going to get better. The Rockets just might get better. And if they do, they're scary. You have the Jazz. You have a whole bunch of teams in the West. All I'm saying is
that's not even mentioned. The Nuggets are going to get better, too.
What are they? Michael Porter, listen, you want to talk about LeBron, that's fine. You want to talk about AD, that's fine. I love those guys. But what I'm telling you is that Michael Porter Jr. is going to be something special in this league. That's all I have to say.
Can you imagine how much more competitive next year is going to be?
And like
Both conferences
A
too.
lot more competitive, bro.
Both conferences too are going to be competitive because you got a lot of
Hey,
teams
after the
coming back.
draft and free agency, watch this. After the draft and free agency, and see who improves. Oh, hey, Freddie, I'm telling you, man. Listen, y'all might get put out, bro. You never know. It depends on how the draft goes and this free agency goes.
But guess what? You guys not taking
over there in LA.
You guys not taking to the point that you say these other teams will get better. The Lakers are going to get better too. This is not our best roster this year. We're going to upgrade this roster. Did you guys remember the reason why?
Stop saying you guys. Because all I did was talk about other teams. I didn't say the Lakers were going to get better. I just named other teams.
Do you think a bubble is going to be next year?
They don't want it to. That's why they keep extending the NBA and pushing everything back because they don't want it to be a bubble. Because if that was the case, I'm sorry, but if that was the case,
honestly, that's going to come down if they get that coronavirus cure, whether or not they have a bubble or not. I would imagine.
And I think they're probably going to do what the NFL doing right now is having capacity at fans. The league came out. Commissioner came out and said the last thing we want to do is have a bubble. The players don't really want to have a bubble. I think it worked for what it did, but throughout the whole entire season, 82 games. I don't think it's going to be harder than having 82 games in
a hotel and you can't. That's like being in prison for 82 days.
So it's not going to. So I don't. I think. I don't think they're going to do it.
Me neither.
All right, gentlemen. Hey, this show is brought to you guys by Suzanne Paparazzi Accessories.com. So, hey, a good show. Brandon Herrera, I want to appreciate you for commenting. Louis Torrey, I saw you earlier. Appreciate you watching this show. Thank you, guys, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next go-around. Hey, y'all got some parting words for the peeps?
Man, all I got to say is, now next Monday, the coach is making his debut on Real Talk. Just be ready for that. If you guys think it's getting heated between me, Chris Brown, and McLovin, just wait till we add the coach on next week. It's going to get even more heated.
Hey, if you enjoy vibing with us, don't forget to like, share, comment, all that good stuff in between on this show. And we appreciate each and every one of you for watching. And we'll see you next time. Until then, my boy JJ McLovin, Chris, and Freddie, we out of here.
It's Freddie the Delusional. Get it right. It's Freddie the Delusional.
Delusional. We out of here.
Freddie. Right.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.